Boelter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you on this Thursday evening. Sorry about the late start, but it is the NorbCam Roundtable. That's what I'm going to start calling it, this weekly get-together with my panel of good friends and NFL experts, as well as special guest for the week. Yes, it is the NorbCam Roundtable. I'm calling it right here. And welcome to everybody who's watching the show. Sithic, Cameron Hughes, Stephanie Delzer, Bryson Posa, Just Guav's production, Golden Seahawks Martin, of course, in there. Gav Sax Nation, Norberto Verhagen. Been trying to email you, bro. The Sports Nerd, and everybody else who's jumping in here. Thank you for being on this. We got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody, please, if you feel it in your bones, I'd appreciate it if you like this video to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and that way you won't miss a single episode. So without further ado, I want to bring on the panel to discuss our topics of the day, as well as our information about the trivia that's going to come up for your chance to win an appearance on NorbCam. So let's bring our panel right here. What's up, panel, everybody? First of all, let's see, can you hear everybody? Everybody's there. Yes, we can hear you. That's awesome. That's great news. Okay, so let's first start with our guest on the show. Actually, let me work the other way around because I want to save the best for last. No offense to the panel, but we do have our special guest here. Starting on the far right top corner, we got Calvin Domingo at Steezy Way. What's up, Calvin?
Going on, everybody?
Seahawks Martin in the bottom right corner. Seahawks Martin, who may have to leave us before trivia because he's going to have other things he's got to take care of tonight, but that's okay. We'll take you.
Only got 50 minutes, so.
All right, we'll make this, try to get you as far as we can. Noah Boelter, DJ Squabo in the house to my left, over my left shoulder right there. And last but certainly not least, Jose Rivera, also known as Sky High Aviation. You probably recognize his name from many of our trivia contests. He was the winner of the last contest. Jose, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hi, Norb. I am honored to be here, and I am so excited to talk football with you guys today.
Oh, we're definitely going to do it. But first, we got to get to know you a little bit. First of all, congratulations on winning the contest last time. I believe you got 9 out of 12 questions, correct? I believe that was your score. Yeah. Well, congratulations on that. First, I got to say, though, is that, one, it is Jose's birthday today. All right, so we got to say a quick happy birthday to Jose. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. We're all out of sync. Happy birthday, dear Jose. Happy birthday to you. Okay, that was like terrible, but we're all out of sync. That's okay. Jose, that's the worst singing of happy birthday in the whole world, but it doesn't matter because it's all for you, buddy. Welcome to the show. And I got to first ask you, what is Sky High Aviation? From the moment you showed up, I mean, we'd see names like Seahawks, Golden Seahawk, and 49 or something, and Martin is a loser, and all kinds of crazy names. Norb's left nut, for crying out loud. But Sky High Aviation always caught my attention because it's not a football-specific name. Tell me a little bit about what is Sky High Aviation? Why do you call yourself that?
Well, it's not football related, as you guessed it, but, growing up, I had a huge passion for aviation, and I was like, why not start a YouTube channel every time we go on a trip? Why not do what, I don't know, some people film their experience that they have on planes and all that, and that's what I've done. So I don't know if you guys enjoy that kind of content, but that's pretty cool. That's kind of what I put out there.
So your dream is to someday become a pilot. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, where did you decide in your life at such an early age? Now, how old are you?
I'm 15. Turned 15
so
today.
you're middle of high school, right? You're in high school. All right. So most kids have no idea what they want to do this early in their life, and you pretty driven. You want to become a pilot. Where'd that come from?
Growing up, we used to take trips down to where my parents grew up, and that was in Puerto Rico. And a lot of the time, it was just every time I'd see the plane, it captivates me. Kind of like when you see something. When you see a rocket take off from the space or the a NASA rocket launch in the air, it kind of captivates you. I was just like locked onto it. I was it was kind of like my magnet. It drew me closer. It was something that I enjoyed. It was something that I was like, finally, what if I decide to do this for the rest of my life? That sounds interesting. I felt like this could be a thing I could pursue, and it was pretty interesting. Well,
my wife is a flight attendant. I won't say the airline because they haven't paid me for their sponsorship. But she knows a lot of pilots, and pilots make pretty good money if you can stick with it long enough and work your way up to the ranks. So, not a bad career choice. Not to mention, all those pilots look pretty sharp in those uniforms. So that's pretty cool, man. I hope to hear more about your piloting success someday, and you got to definitely keep in touch and. So we can hear about your career moving forward. This isn't the first time we've met, actually. Jose had to remind me because I'd kind of forgotten, but you sent me over this picture that I'm going to show you right now. This is me and Jose and his brother. This is Jose wearing the Jimmy Graham shirt. This was at the Eagles game in, what year was it again, Jose?
2016.
2016, and in the game where Doug Baldwin threw a touchdown pass to Russell Wilson in the left corner of the end zone, right? That game? Mm-hmm. Where we did beat the Eagles. Well, we've beaten the Eagles so many times, I got lost track. But that's pretty cool that we've actually met a couple times, and also the NFC Championship game, the unforgettable game against the Green Bay Packers. So it's cool to. Here we are, a couple times at the stadium, and now here on this show. So Jose, welcome. It's great to have you on board. So let's get into it so that we can get Seahawks Martin on here for as long as possible. So today. There was a lot we wanted to talk about, and boy, nothing stole the headline more than what we just saw today. It had been kind of hinted at in the news that there was going to be a big-time bombshell drop in the news about the Redskins, and not good news. And it finally came out today that Washington Redskins executives accused of sexual harassment, verbal abuse. A group of 15 female former employees of the Redskins accused top team executives of sexual harassment and verbal abuse in a just terrible report on the team's internal culture on Thursday. It's been kind of talked about all over the news here, so I want to get your guys' quick take on this. As if the Redskins, with the controversy of the name changing at the center of things, if that wasn't bad enough, this just puts it to another level. Let's go, Martin, let's get your take on this first.
Dang. I haven't been around the NFL news for a while, but yeah. This is probably the first time I've ever heard it because most of my focus was on the Redskins changing names. This is crazy. Obviously, sexual harassment or whatever it is, that is not good to do. And it's going to put the Redskins under, they're probably going to be thrown under the bus after this, if it is true. But this is quite crazy news. I'm trying to just... I don't know what to say.
You're still processing this. Yeah. Well, I think the big question really is, Dan Snyder, while he himself, the owner of the Redskins, wasn't actually accused of any wrongdoings. It's the fact that he had executives, high-level execs in his inner circle accused of it, which means he most likely was probably made aware of it and nothing came out of it. The question is, I think a lot of people are asking, should he sell the team and give up his control of it, given all the controversy surrounding the team? Let's go to Calvin. Give me your take on this.
And I hate to say it, but I'm honestly not surprised. No wonder the Redskins are such a poorly run organization. They have other things on their mind. Such as things like that. I'm hearing a whole bunch of other allegations that team officials were paying off sports writers and media personalities for inside scoops, or that media personalities were exchanging certain services for inside scoops, namely Diana Rossini of ESPN. She's a name that's been floating around. I've read a whole bunch of terrible things about it, and I'm really sad to have to hear about that. I'm hearing that Jay Gruden and former running back Capri Bibbs, they used to pimp cheerleaders, and that Jay Gruden benched Capri Bibbs in one of these games. I mean, in a past game, because I guess they were both pimping out the same girl, and Jay Gruden was jealous, and he ended up benching Capri Bibbs in the game where Alex Smith broke his leg. I think it was that game where he benched Bibbs, and then his backup missed the block that led to Alex Smith ultimately being injured. It's just terrible news all around. I think Dan Snyder should definitely sell the team. I think he should be removed as an owner. It doesn't matter if he wasn't the one who was being accused of doing certain things. Like you said, Norb, he's at the top of everything. He's aware of everything that's going on in his organization. The fact that he was willing to just ignore it and not do anything about it, that speaks volumes. And there's just no place for that in the NFL.
Even so many names named in this, as you mentioned, but even Larry Michael, the team's longtime radio play-by-play guy, announced his retirement on Wednesday in the wake of this scandal. Just crazy. Jose, your thoughts on this?
Mm-hmm. Well, whenever you see even one accusation, it's not good. To see 15, that's out of this world. And I feel like you said it, Dan Snyder, the owner, has lost control of his team. And obviously he was either aware or unaware of what was going on below him. And obviously the NFL and him, I think he's in the middle of a roadblock. I mean, he has his team on the other side and he has the NFL on the other side, and obviously going to have to launch a huge investigation, which could result in executives being thrown out the window, fines, like Calvin said, possible players on the team, resulting in serious punishment. And, just to think of the number 15 women or 15 accusations of sexual harassment inside that organization. And it could range from cheerleaders, it could range from building staff. And it's just, he's got his team all up in a giant mess right now. It's and all that paying off and all that. He lost control of his team, and I think there's no other choice but to just step down after all this and let the NFL take over and launch the private investigation and handle everything respectively. Kind of like to compare it to what happened to the Astros. They cheated. They used the system. And their owner, well, we don't know, but the owner was completely unaware of it. And when he found out after the investigation, he fired the general manager and the manager right after they just made an appearance in the World Series. So obviously the Redskins are not in a position right there, but they're at the lowest point right now. They're in a very dark place.
And I guess if Snyder's got one out is the fact that he himself wasn't named in this scandal. He could just let the heads roll of all those who were accused and essentially sort of claim, that he was not part of this, keep himself in the mix and just hire all new people. Noah, what do you think? What do you think should happen here? Snyder, should he as an owner sell the team? What do you think ought to happen here?
Well, I think he has to sell the team. People were already against him for the whole name of the Washington franchise, and that's been in the public view for a while now. And now you throw this all into the equation. What we're talking about here is 10 years with 15 accusers. That's a culture in Washington, not only of losing, but of off the field cheating in terms of on players and personnel's wives and families, but also on the field cheating, which has also been referenced. And everyone's kind of afraid to say too much and to make sure to bring up that this is all alleged rumors and that there have just been accusations and none of it's proven yet. But just the fact that this is all coming out all together, it's all starting to make sense. People are getting fired. The director of pro personnel and the assistant, Alex Santos and Richard Mann II, both fired. Like you were talking about, Larry Michael retired. These guys look guilty. Every single stake owner outside of Schneider has now tried to sell their stake of the Washington franchise. It's at an all-time low. The franchise has not been winning. Calvin brought up some great points. Jose brought up some great points. I completely agree with you guys. I think Dan Snyder has to go at this point. He's not going to make any money, and until he does go somewhere, no one's going to want to play for them. Ron Rivera came out, and he's done a nice job of establishing that this is just completely unacceptable. Ron Rivera is a reputable guy. In order for this franchise to have success moving forward, they're going to have to embrace a lot of Ron Rivera's beliefs and go for a more virtuous approach down the road.
Juan Rivera might possibly be the best thing that happened to this franchise, signing him as the head coach in the offseason. He's definitely a guy who brings good credibility, a winning culture, and maybe this is the one guy who can turn things around once things get going. But they're going to have to get out of this mess in the meantime. Quentin Dunbar, as we know, who's our Seahawks cornerback, who has yet to even make an appearance in Seattle, fighting his own legal battles, as we've covered many times in the story. The circus revolves around that. So many craziness, we won't even get into that story, but it just should be noted that he is a former Washington Redskins cornerback. So, again, more signs of a very suspect culture from which a lot of these players have to deal with. And I probably, if anybody, I feel the most sorry for is the Redskins players. I don't believe there were any players involved in this, at least at this point, mostly upper level people, admin people, but they have to fall under association with what's going on over there and kind of get dragged through the mud. So at some point, this will all get resolved. The question is, will it be under the guidance and the ownership of Dan Snyder? He's going to have to answer some very tough questions in the near future here. Let's shift gears to some more positive NFL news. In the last few days, we had the deadline for franchise players to have extensions made up between their teams and those players. And boy, did we have some doozies. Of course, starting with, we talked about Patrick Mahomes breaking the bank with his record $500 million plus contract. But that was just the start. The Chiefs signing an extension to defensive tackle Chris Jones. We talked about him, how we would love to see him in a Seahawks uniform. It's not going to happen. 4 years, $85 million with $5 million in incentives. I think what I want to do here is just list a couple of these and have you guys maybe talk about the contract that maybe just stands out as maybe the best signing of the bunch. We've got that one. We got the Myles Garrett pass rusher deal, 5 years, $125 million extension, $100 million in guarantees, makes him the highest paid defensive player in terms of the NFL. So there was that news. And then at the last minute, Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans was signed to a 4-year deal, $50 million with $25.5 million guaranteed. Just curious, again, we don't have time to cover every single one, but I want you guys to pick one that really stands out like that was the best signing. That one, they needed to get that one done. So Seahawks Martin, let's start with you. Which signing, and it doesn't even have to be one of these three, but you certainly can go with one. Which signing do you think was the best that came down in the news the last couple days?
It's got to be Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he is literally the face of the Chiefs franchise now, and he totally deserves that $500 million. He's a playmaker. He reminds me of Russell Wilson back when 2012, 2013, who keeps escaping the pocket, making plays when he is pretty much about to get sacked. He is a playmaker, and he totally deserves that money. And unlike Lamar Jackson, he can actually win playoff games. He's already won a Super Bowl ring, which is great for him, mostly because I hate the Niners, and I'm happy that they lost to Mahomes. And Mahomes totally deserves that. Ring. He is a great player, and I believe that the Chiefs made the right move to take Patrick Mahomes on this very long 10-year deal.
All right, so you go with Mahomes. Calvin, how about you? What was your favorite signing or extension this past few days?
I wanted to say Chris Jones, but I'm going to roll with Derrick Henry just because he's the main reason why. Actually, he's the only reason why the Titans made it to the AFC Championship game last season. He's been one of the NFL's best running backs the last couple of years. And for the Titans to lock him up for a deal, he's not even the highest paid running back at the position. He's currently fifth on the list. And so to lock him up in that range, I think it's a major success. I think the only way the team has success this season is if they were able to keep both Tannehill and Derrick Henry, which they were able to do this offseason. Otherwise, if Derrick Henry was playing under the franchise tag and Ryan Tannehill was only got locked up, I think that would actually hold the team back just because there'd be a whole bunch of distractions. Derrick Henry would be unhappy playing on a franchise tag, 1 year, $10 million. I think that with both of those guys locked up, the Titans have a bright future. Obviously, we don't know if Ryan Tannehill can sustain the level of play that he showed towards the end of last season, excluding the playoff games in which he was throwing for 80 yards, 70 yards. I'm not talking about those games. I'm just talking about the end of the regular season. And so I think that the Titans, they're big winners this offseason. They have the foundation of their team laid out for the next couple of seasons, and I can't wait to see what they accomplish.
Man, Tannehill, talk about a guy who had got a second lease on his career. I mean, was struggling in Miami. He goes to the Titans, leads them to this, almost to the AFC Championship game, and gets locked up for a great deal. And now he's got his running back, who, like you said, without Derrick Henry, who knows where Tannehill would be. So I think he owes him a few steak dinners. But Titans offense, he kind of had to do it. So let's go to Jose, Sky High Aviation. What was the signing that you liked the most?
I got to agree with Calvin. I think it was Derrick Henry. I mean, that's a steal in my mind. I mean, $50 million, four-year, $50 million deal. I think he's worth much more than that. And I felt like he was going to get a deal maybe in the $90+ million range because, of his performance levels and the way he's been playing in these past few years. So I felt like it was kind of a steal in my mind that he got locked up for only $50 million. So that's my top contract. I feel like he and Tannehill are going to, if Tannehill decides to prove all the haters wrong and outplay what people expect him to play next year, he and Henry could be a pretty dynamic duo, especially with those big wide receivers that they boast on the offensive front for the Titans. But I like that Derrick Henry deal. I agree with Calvin.
The Derrick Henry deal, it's as a little bit surprising to me, not that he didn't earn it, but just in the wake of what happened with Todd Gurley and the fiasco that became that after he got that major signing, and then right away he had knee problems, and was thinking that maybe this is going to be a downside for running backs, but Derrick Henry proved that there is value to the running back position. Now, Garrett, and he's one of a kind. He was definitely a unique back in itself last season, so he definitely earned it. Now, the question is, will he be durable enough to last through the 4 years of that deal? We'll find out. But Noah, how about you? Which deal did you like?
Is it cheating to say the Dak Prescott deal? Because as time goes on, he's only going to get more expensive for Dallas. Honestly, if we're talking about deals that did get done, I agree with Jose and with Calvin. You made great points about the Derrick Henry deal. I think this offseason, NFL GMs have showed us what way the NFL is really trending, and that's towards the pass game. They pay the pass rushers. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They paid their quarterback, and they paid two pass rushers, Chris Jones and Frank Clark, over $20 million. That's two pass rushers in the top six of defensive linemen in NFL history, over $20 million per year. But with these deals, they pay Myles Garrett. They pay Chris Jones. They don't pay Derrick Henry top dollar. And with the way that the salary cap is blowing up, you see Myles Garrett resetting the market. You see Chris Jones getting top money, over $20 million. And then Derrick Henry gets fifth at his own position after leading the NFL in yards last year and carrying his team to the AFC Championship game. I think it's a sign that GMs are saying, look, dude, you run old school type of football. You're not going to make top dollar in the NFL. Just doing the franchise tag, you get the average of the top 5 every single year. So he had a potential to maybe make more money going year by year. But what he wanted was stability, because he knows he's not going to be that guy that can necessarily stay durable with that style of running down the stretch here throughout the remainder of this contract. So I think the NFL GMs are telling us what they really value. Derrick Henry's not a pass-catching running back. Who just got paid the most money in running for a running back in NFL history? Christian McCaffrey, potentially the best pass-catching running back ever. It's showing what way the NFL is going, and because of that, I think it's a major win for GMs, the deal of Derrick Henry.
You mentioned, though, the Dak Prescott deal. You didn't elaborate on that. What were you going to say something about the Dak Prescott deal that didn't happen?
Oh, yeah. No. I love the fact that it didn't happen, because as time goes on, that cap, while it might take a hit for coronavirus, there's also the fact that other quarterbacks are resetting the market. And as the Mahomes deal starts to get more expensive towards the end, Deshaun Watson is set to get paid. There are other quarterbacks that are going to get paid. And because of that, Dak Prescott's only going to want more money. He's felt disrespected to this point. He's bet on himself multiple times in a row. He didn't have money throughout the beginning of his career the way that other quarterbacks that are getting paid now did, because he was such a late round pick the way that he was. So Dak Prescott, I think, has his hand on the table. You saw what his brother tweeted out today, implying that he might not even be with this franchise down the road. That's very interesting for me. I think it's a very dark day for Dallas.
Yeah, to potentially, Dak Prescott could be a team's franchise quarterback, and if there was an opportunity for Dallas to lock him in, they certainly missed that boat. And I don't know if they think there's another one down the line, but it's pretty tough too. If you don't do it now and you start doing the franchise tag route, we've seen that with Kirk Cousins, and it doesn't end well when you start going down that route. So I think that Dak Prescott's years are numbered with Dallas, but Dak Prescott's doing fine. He's making plenty of money. So still like number 8th best contract deal in terms of quarterbacks. For me personally, I got to go with the Chris Jones signing as well. After seeing what that guy did to basically help win that Super Bowl. I mean, he broke up plays that I think stopped the 49ers comeback dead in its tracks. And if he had not stepped up and rose to the occasion in that game, we might be telling a different story about who the Super Bowl champion is. And I say that to my friend Rohan in the chat, who's saying something about I'm donning my hat because I'm trying to hide something. I don't know. The only thing I'm trying to hide is the fact that my hair is so long. I haven't cut it in 4 months. This is the longest it's been since like high school, and it's a complete mess. So I'm going to show you right here because I didn't hide nothing. It just looks like crap today. So yes, I did wear the hat, but plus NorbCam, it looks kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so
My dad's gonna cut my hair this week.
I'm trying to. I actually bought a pair of clippers on Amazon. I was gonna try to see if I can get my girls to cut my hair for me, but they're a little scared too. They're scared to mess it up, and I'm like, hey, it'll just grow back. I mean, how bad can it be? You know, so it'll be bad for a couple weeks. It'll be back. Anyway,
you're asking for it, Norb. You're asking for it to be bad.
Yeah.
Hey, if I do it. I'll have to put it on YouTube just so if it is bad, I got to commemorate the moment and share it with the audience. It could be like YouTube gold if it's really bad. Anyway, I digress.
You'd be the one to be scared.
So yeah, Kansas City Chiefs. I think, like you said, Chris Jones. There is just the premium. Obviously, the quarterbacks, the running backs, but the pass rush, man. It's like it's all about the quarterbacks. You got to have the quarterback, and you got to take down the quarterback. So, which of course concerns me because we don't have the elite pass rushers on the Seattle defensive line. So much to be wondered about that still. So we'll talk about that at a later point. That transitions to our final topic before we go into the trivia, which is I know everybody is really here for. But let's talk about let's do a little. Noah, you brought up the subject. Let's talk a little contenders, pretenders, and let's focus on the NFC West and legit Super Bowl contenders. Let's just kind of, in a really quick elevator pitch style, give me the pitch on which team, or teams, I guess you can take the easy way out, but really out of the NFC West. Let's you got to pick one because there's only going to be one representative potentially out of each division. So let's go with the NFC West. Who is the true contender out of the NFC West for the Super Bowl this year, and who are the pretenders? Martin, we'll start with you.
Gotta be Seattle, boys. Seattle, can I go 2 teams? Is that okay?
No. Just kidding. Yeah, you can go 2. That's fine. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it has to be the Niners and the Seahawks. Both of them went into the playoffs last year. Both teams have a lot of talent on their teams. I just only wish that the Seahawks actually had a good defensive line. But yeah, those 2 are my contenders. As for can I go straight to my pretenders? My pretenders are the Cardinals. Sure, you got D-Hop, but you guys still have holes on your team. But yeah, Cardinals, just because you got DeAndre Hopkins, yes, he is a very good wide receiver, but I do not think that's enough to send you guys deep into the playoffs. So they are my pretenders on the NFC West.
It's kind of cool that you brought up the name D-Hop. I haven't really heard that much. I don't know if is that a thing? DeAndre Hopkins being called D-Hop? Okay, I haven't called him that. They need to have a guy named, with a first name like Ian or something, so that way we can call him IHOP. We got to have a guy draft him in the NFL. Somebody with an I name Hopkins.
God.
Somebody with the I first name Hopkins. You got to get in the NFL just so we can call you IHOP at some point. Okay, Calvin, let's go to you, man. Your pretenders list.
Well, if you ask me who has the most talented roster from top to bottom in the NFC West, I would have to say the San Francisco 49ers, but that wasn't the question. The question was, who are the contenders and the pretenders? I'm going to have to say Seattle, just because I'm projecting that Seattle wins the division next season. But just by a hair, I got Seattle going 12-4. I got San Fran going 11-5. with Seattle, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Obviously, we have the better head coach, the better quarterback by a mile. We're not expecting so many injuries, hopefully, this time around. Our defense was one of the worst in football last season. There's nowhere to go but up. Our offense should be very stacked. We have all these tight ends. DK Metcalf is the next Megatron. The list goes on. So I think Seattle is the contender of the NFC West. And then as for my pretender, I got to go with the Rams just because I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFC. They have no offensive line. They have Jared Goff at quarterback, no running backs. They traded away Brandon Cooks. They lost so many guys on defense. I have a hard time seeing them winning even 7 games, even 6 games. I'm projecting them to go 4-12, 5-11. Just a couple of years ago, they were at the top of the NFL, and now 3 years later, here they are. Bottom of the barrel, one of the worst teams in football. They made terrible decisions in some of the contracts that they've given out. They're my pretender of the NFC West.
Interesting. All right, so Sky High Aviation, Jose, give me your contender and pretender, NFC West.
Well, I think I got to kind of go with the trend. I think I'm going to go with Seattle in the as a contender, as well as the 49ers. They're always obviously the defending NFC champs. We can't forget that as a contender. But I think Seattle has an edge. Obviously, we have Russell Wilson, but for us to have the edge, we have to perform in those intense, close games where, like, that brutal stretch, Buffalo, in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, that mid to I don't know how to say it, the end of the season stretch, November, December football. We need to play well at that point. And I think if they play well, they play well. Like, we were road warriors last year. So if we do what we did on the road last year and play our type of ball, then we can we for sure have a shot. But you never can count the 49ers out the way that they've been coached. And maybe I think they're going to take a step back here, but I think the Seahawks have the edge. As for the pretender, I have to go with the Cardinals. Obviously, acquiring a bunch of talent over the offseason. They're obviously going to be a bright future, may even overshadow the 49ers at some point down the road. But the defense still has a lot of holes. A lot of other teams seem to wreck the Cardinals except us. But their team has quite some holes in the offensive front. I noticed the defense could use some improvement. It's going to take a couple years for them to truly turn them into contenders. And last but not least, every team in the NFC West, I feel like, has a little chance. I'm never going to count out the Rams because we've seen what they've done 4 years ago. They had our number. They sweeped us in 2015. They beat us in 2014, 2016. They always seem to play it close no matter how many injuries they have, how poorly they've done. The Rams seem to always have the Seahawks number. So I'm never going to count them out, but I do think they'll finish poorly this year.
All right, so no, I think we got to go to you for your contender and pretender out of the NFC West. And might I say, as I'm looking at you here on the screen, I like your haircut, man. You're looking sharp, unlike myself. My hair looks like crap, and yours looks freshly groomed. I like it. And you look like you have a nice ring light that you're using as well. Is that some new technology you're adding to your arsenal over there?
Yeah, I haven't even used it for a video yet. I just figured out how to put it together today. So this is the debut.
All right. Well, let's hear with that new haircut and that new light. Let's hear if you can shine some light on the NFC West contender pretender. Let's hear it. Go.
Okay. So Norb, you wanted to just have one contender per division. I accept your challenge. Okay. So I'm going to make the argument not only is there only one contender in the NFC West, but that it is the Seattle Seahawks. When you talk about the San Francisco 49ers, head coach and quarterback, the two most important players to this franchise come playoff time. As everybody knows, playoffs are about quarterback and head coach and the combo. Well, now you have a head coach quarterback combo of a guy who couldn't get it done and missed the throws that gave up a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl, couldn't find the lanes. Instead, we're throwing it to the hands of the guy that just got paid $20 million in our last topic, Chris Jones. And you have a head coach who's given up two major double-digit leads in the fourth quarter of Super Bowls throughout his career. So come down the stretch when it matters the most. I have zero faith in Kyle Shanahan, just like I have zero faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that ruins their locker room down the road. And that's why I take Russell Wilson, the guy that everyone believes in, for Seattle, and I say Seattle has the best chance of going back to of being a contender and going back to the Super Bowl and being successful in that Super Bowl. Now, when you're talking about pretenders, I think it is very important to mention, I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be a great team this year. I think they make the playoffs. I think they have a chance to win a playoff game this year. But I put them as my biggest pretenders, and the reason being the biggest difference between them and Seattle for me right now, because what they do so well is they have an explosive offense, a great young quarterback, the wide receivers. Their defense is what really struggles, and not only does it struggle in key moments, but it struggles in the aspects that are not proficient in today's game. When you talk about where they ranked last year, Seattle was 22nd, Arizona 28th. You compare the yards that they gave up. Arizona gave up 300 more yards. They had 2 less turnovers. They gave up 100, just shy of 100 more completions last year, as well as 700 more passing yards, and about 200 yards, 250 yards in passes or in penalty yards. So not as disciplined a defense, gives up passing yards. Come playoff time, teams air it out. With the way the NFL is shifting its focus to the passing game, like we talked about in the last topic, their defense is not going to be able to shut down any opposing quarterbacks. Postseason's about quarterback play. You're going to play against great quarterbacks. Because of that, I have Arizona as a pretender.
I hear what you're saying. So before we go to the Coot, which is coming up in just a moment. So here's my pick for the contender and pretender. First of all, of course, I'm going to have to go with the contender being the Seattle Seahawks. First of all, head coach, quarterback, running back, tight ends, wide receivers. We check all the boxes on there. And I think we're going to be superior in many ways to our rival NFC West's 49ers. Yes, they may have the best single tight end in all the league, but we will have the best duo tight end, I believe, in all the league. And I believe this is the year that Will Dissly stays relatively healthy, meaning he can play for more than half the season and actually be available come playoff time, which I think is going to change everything. So I believe Seattle, no surprise there, is the contender. My pretender, I contend that the San Francisco 49ers are the pretenders out of the NFC West. Why? I haven't done any stats to back it up, so I'm not going to be like you, Noah, and actually have any legitimate evidence. I'm going to go completely on gut feel. And what's my gut feel say? Super Bowl hangover, baby. This is the second time Coach Shanahan's blown a huge lead in the Super Bowl when he should have won. So he's 0 for 2 in embarrassing fashion. They've lost some key guys in the offseason. And I think, and finally, the main reason is because Rohan made fun of my hair, and that's the main reason why I'm putting the 49ers as the pretenders. And I believe that the Arizona Cardinals are going to edge the 49ers. And I said this before, so I'm not going off of any kind of changing of my script. I said that I believe the Arizona Cardinals' bold prediction is going to slightly edge the 49ers in a very tight NFC West race. And that D-Hop, the distant cousin to IHOP, is going to make a huge statement, except when we play them, because someone's going to cover him, and it's not going to be Quentin Dunbar, so I don't know what I'm talking about here, but we're going to somehow cover him, and we will manage to minimize the damage. We're going to go 2-0 against the Cardinals. The 49ers won't be so fortunate. We're going to beat the 49ers in the last game of the regular season, not like we did last year. We're going to take the NFC West back this year. 49ers will drop, won't make the playoffs. Maybe there'll be a wild card. They have the extended playoffs this year, but they'll be one and done. We're going to make it to the Super Bowl, and we're finally going to get that elusive second ring for Russell Wilson. End of story. Thank you very much.
I wonder how Cristostomo feels about what you just said.
Oh, no, he'd be mad.
It's all a bunch of crap.
His attitude now.
That's a whole bunch of crap. He said.
You're full of crap, and your hair looks terrible, Norb.
That's what Chris Oswald would say.
You gonna become a Cardinals fan now, Cristostomo?
Maybe Cristostomo should get some face surgery because his face is deformed. Dang.
That's what you think. I'm prettier than all of you.
All right, let's get to the trivia, shall we? Let's do it. That's what we're all here for anyway. Let's get to the trivia. So everybody, if you're going to play along, jump on the Kahoot app or Kahoot.com, and I will provide you the PIN number right now. So here we go. We got the scoreboard. Actually, Martin, are you sticking around for this? Are we early enough that you can actually do this?
I have 11 minutes. I'm probably going to be only halfway through, a quarter way through.
Okay, well, I have a scoreboard set up for only 4 people or 3 people. So, well, we just have to jump into it. I'll just keep track of your own score, Martin, because if you jump off, the scoreboard will only be for the group we have. All right, here we go. Here's the game. Pin number's ready. It is 721-606. 721-606. Everybody jump on board. It is showtime. Trivia contest number 15. Everybody log in. 721-606. We have Go Hawks. Norb is the best. Lamar Jackson. Decap, Bedcap. Very Fat Pig. Sonoy. Titans. TJ. Snack God 1592. Oh, and I got to confess. I messed up. I was playing the Kahoot thing where every week I would do a 7-day free trial and then renew it. And guess what? I forgot to cancel it last night. So I got on the hook. I paid $240 for a stupid Kahoot app so I can host games for 50 players like you guys. So we better make it count. All right? I'm feeling really stupid about this. And I hope my wife's not watching because she'd be like, you spent how much to do what? Anyway, don't tell anybody. Okay.
That's one of my life savings.
$240 to play Kahoot. My God. Minecraft in the house. Schmilligod. Schmilligod. I always like that name. Schmilligod. Jeffrey Woods. You got to say it that way. Schmilligod. Rain City. Ace Pulls. Christosimo. He didn't have enough consonants. Jose's mom. Hey, Jose's mom's playing. 35 players in there. We get another 30 seconds. Jeffrey Woods. Ivan the Hawk. Astesian. Hey, we got a loyal fan base out there. David MC 465, KDDK, David MC 465. I'm sorry, this name's got to go. Jeffrey Woods, Jose's bro. I already said that. Jaws, 37 players. I'll give you 15 more seconds. Come on, get me to 50 because I paid $240 to have 50 people in here. Where are y'all at? Let's go. We might be a little low today. 38.
How do you renew every week? What do? You create like a bunch of emails?
Oh yeah, I went through like 7 different emails, and then I slipped. I slipped last night and forgot. Fell asleep and forgot to cancel. Oh well, it's all going for a good cause. It's all part of the. It's all part of sacrificing for the good of the fans. 40 players. All right, we can't have names. We got to keep the names clean, y'all. Norb fan, appreciate it. Melanie Weber. Iron Wolf, Ace Pulls. All right, 10 seconds.
Yeah, some of these names aren't very nice.
8. I'm eating. I like that one. Martin is cute. There you go, Martin.
Hey.
Martin.
5.
Got lovers in the game.
4. 3. 2. 1. Time's up. We got 44 in the house. That'll do. That'll justify my $240. Did I mention it was $240? Yeah, it was $240 for stupid Kahoot. Okay. I love it, though. All right, here we go. Let's do this. And the game starts. Oh, wait. I'm killing some time here. I got to say, this is why the theme of the show. Check out my shirt here. Check out my shirt. Let me go full screen here for a second. Where am I here? This shirt right here. Check it out. Got this shirt, I think back in 2015. It is a Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch combo shirt. One of the coolest t-shirts I've ever gotten. Anyway, take note. The theme of the Kahoot is on the shirt. Here we go. Let's do this. Starting the game right now. NorbCam Trivia 15, 12 questions. Here we go. Question number 1. What college did Marshawn Lynch attend? Cal State University, USC, UCLA, or UC Berkeley? What college did Marshawn Lynch attend? Cal State University, USC, UCLA, or UC Berkeley? You have 3 seconds. Time is up. Ooh, kind of even there, but a good chunk of you guys got this. If you said UC Berkeley, you got it right. 12 people on YouTube got it right. Let's go to our scoreboard, starting with our special guest, Sky High Aviation, Jose.
I knew this one. I've seen the videos of him driving around in the medical
Oh,
cart.
yes, that
That's
one.
awesome. He almost runs some people over, man. When he's driving around, there's some people who barely got out of the way. He's crazy on that thing.
Yeah, he's going crazy with it. Yep. So UC Berkeley, I remember from that video, was
All right,
his college.
Yes, Calvin.
I got it right. I like to keep tabs on Beast Mode, one of my favorite players of all time. So I gotta know what college he's in.
All right, 1-1. Noah.
You gotta know that about Beast.
All right, Martin.
If you don't know that, then that's sad. Yes, just like Jose, the whole driving thing. There was one against UW. He's just like around is hilarious. But yeah, I knew UC Berkeley for sure.
All right, so Martin, keep track of your score here, since you might drop off. But a four-way tie for first, just four-way tie. Let's go to the YouTube scoreboard and see how things shake out over on the YouTube scoreboard. Kashasaba Ugly. What? In first place, Very Fat Pig in second, Cameron Hughes in third, Russ MVP in fourth, and Jaws in fifth. Let's go to the second question. Here we go. Russell Wilson played for which Washington State minor league baseball team? You might remember this question. Spokane Indians, the Everett Aqua Sox, the Tri-City Dust Devils, or the Tacoma Rainiers? This is a repeat question. Russell Wilson played for which Washington State minor league baseball team? Spokane Indians, Everett Aqua Sox, Tri-City Dust Devils, or the Tacoma Rainiers? Time is up. Oh, not too many of you learned your lesson for the first time. 11 of you got this right. It was the Tri-City Dust Devils. I know my panel has gone through this before, with the exception of Jose, but let's see if Jose knew this little tricky question. Jose.
I went out on a limb here. I guessed the Tri-City Dust Devils. I felt like I've heard it before somewhere with Russell Wilson's name, maybe reading it on Wikipedia, but I just felt I went with my gut, Tri-City Dust Devils.
That's a pretty good guess. Calvin, did you learn this from the first time we covered this question?
I actually didn't. Like, I know the first time around I got it wrong, but I ended up guessing and got it right.
Oh, you got it right then. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, all's well that ends well. It doesn't matter if you actually learned anything as long as you circled the right letter. Okay, so Noah, I don't think you got this right either. Did you get it right this time?
Yeah, no, I think the first time I guessed the Rainiers, so I remembered it wasn't them, and I was pretty sure it was Tri-City, and I got it right.
Very good, sir. Martin?
Most people try to follow Noah's thing. When in doubt, choose C. I was not in doubt, but I did choose C. I knew that. I gotta remember, right? That was bad.
You guys are doing much better than last week. You guys were terrible last week. So far, you're 2 for 2, all across the board. Very impressive. Let's go to the scoreboard, see how YouTube fared after this question. Chrysostom Ugly still in first. Very Fat Pig in second. Ace Dezian moves up to third. Norb is the best in fourth. And Jaws holding the fifth spot. Let's go to question number 3. What round was Marshawn Lynch drafted in? Was it the second, third, fourth, or the first? What round was Marshawn Lynch drafted in? Second, third, fourth, or first? Decide to make this one a little bit easier for you guys. 2 seconds. Time is up. Actually, not that easy. Kind of mixed actually, but most of you guys got this right. 13 of you said the first round. Indeed, Marshawn Lynch was a first round draft choice. Jose, did you know this? Oh, yeah, to be honest, I would not have known this myself. I had to look it up. Calvin, you said you're a fan of Beast Mode. Were you fan enough to know this? Nice. Calvin takes the lead with 3. Noah. Oh, you and Jose on the wrong part. Calvin with the lead, but can Martin stay at pace with Calvin? Martin, did you know this one? Oh. That would be very vain. Oh. I think I can hear you guys. Really? When did that happen? I don't know what happened. I don't know. Still can't hear him. Wow. I haven't changed a thing. I don't know what's up. I'm sorry that that's going on, but I'm going to have to just keep rolling with it because don't know. Yeah. Sorry, gang. Well, let's just keep rolling with it. So, Calvin, all right, sorry, Martin, what was your answer? Oh, and you were in the lead, too. You were in the lead. Okay, all right. So in other words, you knew it, but the record says you didn't. And you got to go. You got to go anyway. All right. Well, Martin, thanks for popping in here. All right. So Martin is gone. Martin has to go. All right. Well, let's continue on. Let's see how the YouTube scoreboard. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. Everything's still same on my end, but we'll just keep pushing through. Let's see the scoreboard for the YouTube audience. Here we go. Oh. Crisostomo was ugly, drops to fifth. That was Martin's miscue right there. So Very Fat Pig moves up to first. Johnny DeMuro jumps into second. Astesian remains at third. And Norb is the best, stays at fourth. Up 29 places. GXN is the highest climber. Let's go to the next question. Question number 4. Who was Russell Wilson's father? Harrison Wilson, Daniel Wilson, Thomas Wilson, or Woodrow Wilson? Who was Russell Wilson's father? Harrison, Daniel, Thomas, or Woodrow? Harrison, Daniel, Thomas, or Woodrow? Time is up. Wow, most of you guys knew this one. 20 of you got it correct. Harrison Wilson was Russell Wilson's father who passed away. Complications from diabetes, I believe. Let's go to Jose.
Well, I knew his dad's name was Harrison, so I had to go with Harrison. Obviously, I ruled out Woodrow Wilson. Obviously, I felt like his dad would have been named after, I think who was a former U.S. president.
I love the fact that somebody actually chose that. I bet his name was Woodrow Wilson. I love that.
Harrison Wilson.
All right, Calvin. Calvin, did you know this one? Or did you say Woodrow Wilson?
No, I knew that much. But no, I went with Thomas. I got it wrong.
Oh, okay. Noah, chance to tie it up with the guys.
You know, I actually made a really dumb choice, and I got it right because of it. So I thought Russell Wilson's middle name was Harrison because it was one of the questions for Bolt Jeopardy, and I remember it was for a different game, 2 Truths and a Lie, and I gave Calvin like a bunch of fake names that Russell Wilson. I think I said his middle name was Carlissimo, and his middle name is actually Carrington. And I remembered Carrington. I saw Harrison. I remembered it as the same name, so I just said Harrison.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow, that's deep, man. That's deep analysis. All right, this is the thought process behind this. So, of course, Harrison is his real name. So I put Woodrow was my first fake name I had to throw up there. I said, if anybody guesses that, I got to laugh my butt off. So then I went with Daniel Wilson, who, of course, he shortened that's Dan Wilson, who was the former catcher for the Seattle Mariners. And then Thomas, that came from, remember, Wilson? in the movie Castaway, played by Tom Hanks, a.k.a. Thomas. That's how I got Thomas. So long-winded answer, just like yours, Noah. But you look better because you have a nice haircut. Let's go to the YouTube scoreboard. Let's see how things change. Not much. Very Fat Pig in first place. Norb is the best, on fire with a four answer winning streak in second place. Ace Dezian hanging in there third. Johnny Nemuro at fourth. And Cameron Hughes onto the top five with 24-39 in the fifth spot. Here we go. Next question. Question number 5. In his Beastquake run, who did he give the get off me stiff arm to? Was it Roman Harper, Malcolm Jenkins, Jabari Greer, or Tracy Porter? Who did Marshawn Lynch give the get off me stiff arm to in the Beastquake run? Roman Harper, Malcolm Jenkins, Jabari Greer, or Tracy Porter? Time is up. Oh, yeah. Most of you guys on YouTube got this. 20 of you guessed the right answer. Tracy Porter, as so well exclaimed in the play-by-play or the color commentary. Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Anyway, let's see if the panel was as smart. Jose.
You got it. Tracy Porter. I watched this game maybe a couple months ago. I remembered it. I remember the color commentator talking about get off me and all that.
It's a great call.
So I went with Tracy Porter. I don't understand why Al Michaels wasn't doing the commentary there for NBC.
Because it was a different network. Al Michaels only does Sunday Night Football, and actually I don't even know if that was his network at that time. But that was a different crew. Anyway, Calvin.
Like I said, I'm a big beast mode guy. So if I don't know this, and I'm not really a fan, I went with Tracy Porter.
Man, being a Beast Mode fan is a good time. Then, as I said, this shirt right here, it's the Russell Wilson Beast Mode trivia time. So you're in good shape right now, Noah.
I'm sorry, but Rohan in the comments said I look like Mr. Krupp from Captain Underpants.
wait, what?
That's the funniest thing I've heard.
No, I don't. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie. Now I gotta look it up because I want to know how accurate that really is. But
bro, it's accurate, bro.
Okay. Is that a compliment or an insult?
Oh no, it's all love, man. Y'all can make fun of me. Don't hold back. But
he said you look like who?
Principal Krupp from Captain Underpants. It was the books that I remember it from.
I don't know. I remember looking at the movie. He kind of looked like that.
Well, the hair kind of does because of the big face and the hair on top. Yeah. But anyway, to get back on track, Noah, did you know the answer to this?
Absolutely. This is a staple. That's a staple. Everybody knows that.
All right. Well, everybody in the panel knew it, and so did everybody on YouTube. So let's keep going, find out how the scoreboard shakes out. A couple more changes. Very fat Pig stays on top. Ace Dezian slowly climbing up, moves to second now. Johnny DeMuro moves up to third. Norb is the best to fourth. And Schmittegard, love that name, enters the top 5 at number 5. Up 11 places is Go Hawks, the highest climber, trying to get on the podium. Next question. Question number 6. Which receiver caught the most touchdowns from Russell Wilson in a single season? Was it Tyler Lockett, Jimmy Graham, Sidney Rice, or Doug Baldwin? Which receiver caught the most touchdowns from Russell Wilson in one season? Tyler Lockett, Jimmy Graham, Sidney Rice, or Doug Baldwin? You have 3 seconds. Time is up. Oh, yeah. YouTube on point here. 22 of you said Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin is the correct answer. Let's see how the panel did. Jose.
I knew it was close between Graham and Lockett, and I went with Baldwin because I remember him having that record. It was 14 touchdown pass catches back in 2015.
That was correct, man. That is outlandishly high. I mean, it just jumps off when you look at all the touchdowns caught by receivers. No one really comes close.
I'm surprised people didn't guess Graham. I mean, he was only one behind back in 2017. He had 13, I think.
It was close. I thought I saw 10. They got 10. But
10.
Still only those two guys in double digits, so pretty close. But did I already credit you? You got that one right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
so Calvin. So you got.
Man, see, I forgot about Doug Baldwin's
record year.
Yeah, his record year. So I went with Jimmy Graham because I thought 10 was the most.
Ooh, a good second choice, but unfortunately not the first one. How about you, Noah?
You know, in preparation for this video, I was doing a couple quizzes on a website about Seahawks records, and this was actually one of the questions, and I definitely remembered it. So I remember like the receiving records, Largent, Baldwin. I went Baldwin and got it right.
Okay, good call. Let's go to the scoreboard on YouTube and see how everybody's doing over there. Uh-oh. Ace Dezian moves up to first, steadily climbing. Johnny DeMuro moves up to second as well. Very Fat Pig drops to third. Norb is the best at fourth. And Phil McCracken gets to the fifth spot on the podium. Up 23 places, Iron Wolf is the highest climber, trying to get on the top 5. Next question. Question number 7. In 2011, who had the second most rushing yards behind Lynch? Leon Washington, Michael Robinson, Justin Forsett, or Julius Jones? In 2011, who had the second most yards rushing behind Lynch? Leon Washington, Michael Robinson, Justin Forsett, or Julius Jones? Washington, Robinson, Forsett, Jones. Time is up. Ooh, fooled a couple of people on this one, but 9 of you got this one correct on YouTube. It was, in fact, Leon Washington, quite a far distant second. He was like, I think, 230-something yards behind Beast Mode, who had over 1,000. Let's go to the panel and see if you guys had an idea on this. Not many people know the yardage of the second string back, or the second back behind him. Jose, did you know this one?
Yeah, I think I went with Leon Washington. I know he had been a part of the team back at that time. You know, I knew he was a backup to Lynch and a kick returner. I think it was Forsett who was back the 2010 season and all that. I don't know if he still played with us back in 2011, but I went with Leon Washington because I knew he was a for sure backup running back.
Good analysis. Actually, Forsett was. He just had less yards than Washington did, but good analysis there. Calvin.
I went with Forsett because I thought he was our primary backup running back. I knew Washington was on the team, but I just thought that we used him strictly for just kickoffs.
Kick returns. Yeah, that's where he made his mark. But no, he did. He had quite a few touches, not nearly obviously the memorable as Lynch. Okay, so Calvin stays at 4, Jose at 6. Noah, chance to keep pace with Jose?
And yet, my response is word for word with Calvin.
You thought it was Forsett as well.
The exact same reason.
All right. Well, so third, second, and first is Calvin with 4 points. Noah with 5. Jose with 6. Let's see how the YouTube scoreboard turns out here. A couple of changes. Ace Dezian staying at top. Makes Cal very happy. Johnny DeMuro at second. Norb is the best, slides up to third. Very Fat Pig at 4th. And Jose's bro at number 5. Is that really your brother?
I guess so. We saw Snipe God enter, so I guess he must have left and entered as Jose's bro. We'll see.
Okay, up 10 places. David MC465 is the highest climber, trying to get to the top 5. Next question. Here we go. Question number 8. Against which team did Russell Wilson get his first NFL victory? Was it the Dallas Cowboys, the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, or the Green Bay Packers? Russell Wilson's first NFL victory. Cowboys, Patriots, Panthers, or Packers? And time is up. Okay, we had a little split there. But you thought it was the Panthers, but it was in fact the Dallas Cowboys. It's funny how 2012 is a lot of murky games in there because Russell Wilson didn't really come out and become the guy till like later in the year when he really started to take charge of this team and have some of those really memorable victories. But yes, Dallas Cowboys, his first one. Let's go to the panel. Jose.
This one was easy. Dallas. I know he lost his first game against Arizona, came back at home, and just completely annihilated Dallas like we will do at week 3 this year.
Nicely put.
No shade to Cowboys fans, but he annihilated them and surprised a lot of people against the Panthers. But it was the Cowboys.
The Panthers these were all teams that we played early on in the season, so it's very easy for that first 4 games to get a little bit foggy. So, Calvin, did you know this one?
I actually forgot. I went with the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. That's that famous game, the You Mad Bro game, where Russell Wilson threw that bomb to the south end zone to Sidney Rice, where his pants got pulled down and butt crack showed on national TV for game winner. But that was not his first victory. Noah.
Yeah, I remember this game as the Golden Tate Blindside game, as well as it's the game that was on my Xbox box when I got it. So.
Oh, okay, that helps.
Yeah, it was a staple for me.
The Golden Tate, that'd be a penalty now. Did he get penalized on that play?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought he got away with it.
I can't remember if it was a penalty. That would be a definite penalty in this day now. But yeah, he just knocked Lee on his butt. I mean, it was brutal. All right, let's go to the scoreboard. YouTube. What say you? Astesian, solid, but only up by like 46 points. A slim margin, but still at first. Very Fat Pig right on his tail. Johnny DeMuro in third place. Norb is the best at fourth, and Jose's bro hanging in there at fifth place. Titan CJ climbing up 9 places, trying to get on the top 5. Here we go. Next question. Question number 9. To whom did Marshawn Lynch say, "I'm just about that action, boss"? Was it Shannon Sharp, Michael Irvin, James Brown, or Deion Sanders? Who did Marshawn Lynch say that to? "I'm just about that action, boss"? Sharp, Irvin, Brown, or Sanders? You have 3 seconds. Time is up. Oh yeah, overwhelming. YouTube is on point. Deion Sanders, yes, in that interview, Super Bowl 48, took him to the side when Marshawn Lynch wasn't talking to anybody, and he allowed Deion Sanders to come up to him off to the side, get a little one-on-one, and the famous lines were uttered right there. "I'm all about that action, boss." Let's see if the panel is all about that action. Jose?
You know it. I guess Deion Sanders got it right. I had a feeling Prime Time would be the one to get that answer out of Marshawn. Nobody else would be able to do that. Except,
did you actually see the interview where he asked that question?
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Marshawn
famous.
Lynch.
It's a pretty famous moment. Pretty famous moment in Marshawn Lynch iconic history. Not even on the field. Calvin.
I'm with Deion Sanders. I remember the interview.
Man, if I ever want to make sure that you're on a good chance of getting the questions right, I just got to throw some Marshawn Lynch questions in there. I know you'll be on there. Noah, how about you?
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, I remember the interview, and I remember Deion talking about it afterwards. Prime time, baby. I got it right.
It was one of the coolest interviews, and it was just in its entirety. Besides the quote, he said a lot of great things in there. All right, let's go to the scoreboard, see how things shake up. Johnny DeMuro slides to the top. Astesian drops to second. Very Fat Pig slides down 1 as well to third. Norb is the best at 4th. Cameron Hughes gets on the top 5 at 5th, while Iron Wolf has a 4-answer streak going. Let's see if he can get on the board. Next question. Question number 10. True or false? Worth double points, everybody. Russell Wilson has a winning record against the Cardinals. True or false? Russell Wilson has a winning record against the Cardinals. True or false? Worth double points. 50-50 shot. Those pesky Cardinals. Does Russell Wilson have a winning record against those Cardinals? True or false? Time is up. Oh yeah. 16 of you, the majority of you on YouTube got this correct. Yes, he does have a winning record, but not by much. It's 9-7 career. I believe is his record. Let's go against, see what Jose has to say about this question. What say you?
Well, it was a true or false, and I think I got it right. It was true. I felt like it was going to be close. I kind of tried to do the math while you were reading the question out, and I was just going to be like, you know what? He's won enough games between 2017 and 2019 against the Cardinals. I guess true. So I feel like yeah, that's what I guessed.
All right. All right, but that puts you at a first 1 to 10 points here, a substantial lead, but still not insurmountable. If the rest of the panel can do some damage here, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it is insurmountable. Calvin, what's your guess here?
So because it was worth double points, I was about to go Cardinals, but I don't know. I started just like Jose. I started, thinking about some games, and I do remember just a few more wins and losses. So I was like, let me change it up and let me go with True.
All right, glad to hear that. All right, you're hanging in there, Noah.
True or false questions are my weakness. I was looking at this. I'm like, man, Norb, would you really put this question if the answer was Seattle had the better record? So I'm like, man, I feel like Norb looked up some crazy stat and somehow he's losing against the Cardinals. So I actually said the Cardinals.
Oh my goodness. So no points. So I'm sorry, Calvin. Did you say that you guessed Seattle or you guessed the Cardinals? You guessed the Cardinals.
No, I was going to say the Cardinals.
Okay, I gave you points. I got the right. So you guys both missed the question.
No, he got Seattle.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
you said Seattle. Sorry. All right. I was just second guessing myself. All right. So that means Calvin is tied with Noah at 7. Jose has got 10 points. I guess you could still catch up. It's only a 3-point lead. So 2 questions to go. Let's see how the YouTube scoreboard shakes out after this. And by the way, it's all double points, all true, false the rest of the way. 2 more questions to go. Let's see how the scoreboard goes here to Noah's chagrin. Scoreboard. Oh, Ace Dezian slides back up to first. Very Fat Pig. Man, Very Fat Pig has been on Ace Dezian's tail. Only 42 points behind. And not far behind, Norb is the best in 3rd. Johnny DeMuro in 4th and Cameron Hughes in 5th. Seahawks Martin up 8 places. Is Seahawks Martin back from his thing, or is this some imposter? Or is this an imposter?
It's an imposter.
Must be an imposter.
There's plenty of imposters out there.
Because he already played and got out. I can't believe he could get back in. All right. So this is the second to last question. Huge for the panel and huge for the top spots right now. Too close to call. Here we go. True or false? Double points. Marshawn Lynch rushed for over 1,000 yards in his first season in the NFL. True or false? Marshawn Lynch rushed over 1,000 yards in his first season in the NFL. True or false? Marshawn Lynch, did he or did he not rush for over 1,000 yards in his first season? You know what? I think I messed this one up.
Did you think of the answer?
I think I messed this one up. I think I tricked myself because I think I reworded some stuff and I messed up this question. Because I do believe he did rush for over 1,000 yards, and I made the question false when actuality the right answer was the other way around. I need to verify this because I think I just got myself in a jam. I was doing so well. Hadn't messed it up in such a long time. Let's verify because I think it was like 1,155 yards in his first season.
So.
Oh my goodness. Did I just mess it up? I messed up the scoreboard for the YouTube audience. Yep, he rushed for 1,115 yards, and I screwed it up for you guys. So I apologize. I can't fix this. But hopefully you guys who got this right got it wrong at the same point. Right. So for the record, I apologize. I got the true-false part mixed up. But there's still a way we can salvage this for our YouTube, or at least for the panel. Let's see what happens here in a very close match. Jose. Doggone it. Can't believe I messed that up. Sorry about that. Jose, what did you say?
I went false. I thought he rushed under 1,000 yards. I got this one way wrong.
Oh, so this opens the door. The door for our other panelists to jump in there. He has a double checking it again. 1,115 yards in his 2007 season with the Bills. So Jose stays at 10 points. Calvin.
I said true. There's a reason why he was drafted in the first round, and his first season in Buffalo proved that. But Buffalo ended up trading him after a couple of years just because he struggled, I think, to stay healthy, and there were just some issues there, and that's why he was traded to Seattle for the measly cost of a 5th-round pick. But I said true.
All right. Noah, a chance for you to stay in the running to make this last question count for everyone. What you got?
Yeah, so this was part of my pregame research as well. I was looking up all Marshawn Lynch's stats. I remember his first year in Seattle, he didn't get 1,000, but his first year in the NFL, he did. And so I said true.
Okay, so we got the right score with the panel. Let's see if I messed this up completely. For the double points, true, false, this could have major ramifications. This is a huge blunder in a very close game. Let's see what happens in the scoreboard. Oh, my goodness. Well, as a result, actually not really. Ace Dezian and Very Fat Pig, obviously. Ace Dezian in first place, Very Fat Pig right behind him. So it didn't change the top two. It's still, look at this, a 22-point margin is all that separates first and second place. Thank goodness. I was afraid I completely messed up the balance of power, but it did not. Johnny DeMuro moves up to third. Norb is the best in fourth still. And Russ MVP slides into the fifth spot. Three players have a three-answer streak going on. So, glad I dodged that bullet. So it does come down to this final question. What it means is that you guys guessed the right answer and were incorrectly correct. So it didn't change because you guys all knew your stuff. And I messed it up and it didn't even matter. So it all comes down to this final question. Here we go. Question number 12.
Got to be about Norb.
Yeah, Norb is the best. Can't be happy with you, Norb.
And it's true or false. So no matter what, you have a 50-50 chance, even if you have no idea. Uh-oh. Here we go. Question number 12. True or false? Worth 2,000 points. NorbCam acquired his famous green hair headband at a home game versus the 49ers. True or false? That hair you see right there, the green headband that's become my signature thing, I got that at a home game versus the 49ers. True or false? Time is up. Oh, about 50-50 split on the audience. The correct answer is false. I will explain in a moment, but I first want to see if you guys know this. For all the marbles, this decides it all. You can ice it right here with this answer. Jose.
Well, I felt like as soon as you read that question, I'm like, Norb, you got to be tricking us at some point. That question's way too detailed to be true, and I just went with my gut, and to lock it up, I went with false.
Ooh, so Jose, another Hall of Fame performance, going back-to-back, winning the online game, and then winning in the panel with 12 points. Very impressive. We still want to see what the rest of the gang got here. So, yeah. Calvin, what was your answer?
I guess, and I got it right.
Okay. An honorable second place finish. But question is, where will Noah finish with all this? What's your answer?
Tie.
This was a statistical answer for me. I was like, it's the Niners versus the field, and to win the game, you got to go win it. So I tried to go win it, but I got it right, but it didn't matter.
All right, so a two-way tie for second place, but very impressive. One of the better performances by the panel. Congratulations, Jose, winning it with 12 points to the panel's 11. That was good, though. It was like a tight contest all the way through. Very impressive. But now we got to find out who won the online game and who gets to host a future NorbCam episode along with the panel here. Here we go. Let's find out the top three. In third place, with 8,828 points, Russ MVP with 8 out of 12. In second place, Very Fat Pig, which means the top spot with 9 out of 12 answers correct. 12,020 points. Ace Dezian pulls off the victory with Johnny something and Michael something and the runners-up. Ace Dezian, congratulations. Take a screenshot of that victory, my friend, and email it to me at norb@norbcam.com. That way I can know for sure, validate your victory. And I know Cal is very happy. One of his devoted fan followers won the trivia contest. Cal, you must be very proud. How do you feel, man, at this moment?
I feel good, but I feel even better for whoever Stezian is. I mean, appreciate the support.
Go ahead, Seahawks.
Yeah. I was just looking through the comments, and I think he was a Squabian last week, and so we really appreciate the support. I think it's pretty safe to say that I could speak on behalf of both of us, but yeah, it's really cool seeing, you guys putting our names out there like that. I personally don't feel like I deserve it, but I really appreciate it. For real, it means a lot.
All right, that's pretty awesome. I think it's cool that not only that someone was smart enough to get the win, but they actually named themselves after one of the guest panelists on the show. That is pretty freaking awesome. Only the power of the internet and YouTube can let something like that happen. Jose, what do you have to say, man? A dominant victory. I shouldn't say dominant. You won by 1. I mean, it was close. You could have gone either way. But how did you do it, man? What was the trickiest question in that trivia that was the one that threw you for the loop?
Probably the last one. The last one I had no idea, but I kind of depicted that Norb would kind of draw us into thinking, oh, he has this detailed and disguised question is what I like to call it. And 49ers, he's pretty specific. I would think it'd be false. So I could lock up the win with 12 points.
I could have I was so tempted to put the real way that I got it, and it's not that far off. I did get it at a home game, but it was against the Tennessee Titans. So that's where that headband came from. And everybody in the crowd got one. So 68,000 people, if they all grabbed one, would have had access to one of those. That's the first time that hairband made its appearance, and stuck with it ever since. They released it again one or two other times after that since. But the very first time was in that 2013 season against the Titans. Calvin, what was the question, I guess, that stood out to you the most in that trivia contest?
Just one of the ones that I got wrong. I think it was the one about Russ or about the Seahawks.
Oh, the receiving touchdowns.
Oh, I did get that wrong, but no, that wasn't the one I was talking about. I'm talking about the one where the Dallas Cowboys was the answer. I think it was Russell Wilson's
the first team that Russell Wilson defeated.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. For me, I didn't know it, but I just feel like that's something that I should have known.
How about you, Noah? Any question that stood out on that one?
Well, I bet on the Cardinals having a better record against Wilson, so I'll say that one.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So, is it because you really believed that the Cardinals had a better record against Wilson, or were you psychoanalyzing my questions too much?
Well, it was a little bit of both. I was thinking every year they win at least one, and then typically in Seattle. But so I was just thinking back on that track, and then I thought about year one. Well, he lost at Arizona. And then it was 4 years in the middle where who remembers what happened? And I was thinking Norb's got to try and trick us at some point. He put out it was the first true or false. So I'm like, man, he's trying to pull one on us.
Oh man, that was a tricky one, and I looked it up because of all the teams in the NFC West, when you think about who most likely has the toughest record against Russell Wilson, it's got to be the Cardinals, right? Because every year,
the
Rams too. But there was a time when we were kind of taking care of the Rams too. But I didn't look them up. I just figured Arizona had the tougher record. I'll have to look it up. I think we have a better record against the Rams. I think the Cardinals were the closest at 9-7, almost 50%, which is crazy when you think about how many bad Arizona teams there were for a while there. But they have always given us a hard time. All right, well, that pretty much wraps things up. Before I do, I always want to give a chance for our guests to talk about their channel. We talked earlier, Jose got a chance to talk about his future aviation career, which he's got a ways to go from that, but where Sky High Aviation comes from. But I haven't had a chance to let Calvin and Noah talk about their stuff. So, Calvin, why don't you start? Tell everybody where they can find your stuff and a little bit about what your show is about.
Yes, sir. Be sure to show us awesome love. All of our links will be in the description, starting off with Norb. Always a pleasure. Thanks for always having us on the show on a regular basis. Can't thank you enough. And be sure to subscribe to, especially Noah and our channels on YouTube. You can find Noah at DJ Squabo, DJ Squabo. He posts at least twice a week. He just dropped one earlier today, actually talking about which college he's going to. I just watched it myself, and so you guys should definitely check it out. And then as for me, I dropped a video just a couple of days ago. I know I'm a little late, but it's about Cam Newton to the Patriots and what that means for the Patriots this upcoming season. Be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe to all of our channels. And then I'll let Noah get into the bowl.
All right, so Noah down there in the right corner. I won't spoil it for you, but yes, the video where Noah officially announces what college he's decided to go to. We'll go to his channel to watch out for that. But Noah, go ahead and tell everybody where your channel's at, what it's all about, and what they can expect to see.
Yeah, so or on my channel, you can expect sports content as well. I'm going to college. I'm going to do some vlogs over there, show you guys what the experience is. I'm going to have a whole new setup starting. Actually, I move in a month from tomorrow, so it's right around the corner. And we're going to start doing the show a little bit differently down the road. Right now, and for now, The Boelt, which is our show on the radio station at Green River, Saturdays from 10 to 1. You can listen live with the KGRG app. And if you miss it, the podcasts are up on SoundCloud. The link is in the description below. Starting in a month, though, we're going to start doing it on YouTube, just like Big Bro Norb. I'm taking after Norb. Me and Norb were talking before the show. I'm hoping to have another opportunity to study his setup one more time before I go off to college, because you're the consummate professional, and I greatly appreciate all you do for us.
I'm happy to share whatever wisdom I can share with you, but I'm excited for all you guys. You guys have such long, bright futures ahead, and Jose is the youngest one here. You've got the longest number of years ahead just because you are the youngest, but you're a very intelligent young man, so it's been a pleasure having you on. Very impressed with your Seahawks knowledge. You would blow me away every time with just how much you know off the top of your head. So a very impressive, well-deserved win, and it was a pleasure having you on the show, Jose. So again, check out these guys. The links in the description. You can see their social handles right there. So to everybody, thanks for being on the panel, Calvin, Noah, and Jose. And to all of you guys for being part of this. For everybody who was in the chat, thank you for doing that. For everybody who participated in the contest, appreciate you guys being part of that as well. And, of course, congratulations to A. Stesian for winning it. Again, email me, norb@norbcam.com, to talk about how we can get you on the next show. And I've got to give a quick shout-out to the sports nerd. I had him on a couple trivias ago, and he had won back-to-backs. He's actually a big Kansas City fan, and he's persistent as heck. He keeps asking me. He wants to make a Kahoot of his own about general NFL knowledge and send it to me and run the trivia from here, but I would be a participant with his trivia. That could be really embarrassing, because you can realize how not knowledgeable I really am not. But I think we will give this a try. We'll figure out when we'll do this. But I'll talk to you about it, Sports Nerd, to work out those details. But for now, I want to thank all of you for watching, and please check out everybody's channels here. Yeah.
I'm pretty good with general NFL knowledge. I'd be more than willing to be on the panel when it comes to that one.
Okay, all right. Well, I will take that into account. So, yeah, we'll figure out when and with whom we'll do all this. But, yes, I'll let you know, Sports Nerd, where to send it, so we can do that in the near future. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And, again, stay tuned for next time. We do this every week. It'll be continuing to be with the panel. I call it the NorbCam Roundtable. Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, yeah, join us next time as the NFL news world turns. And, of course, we'll have another trivia contest. And that's it. You guys all have a great rest of your week. Take care, and go Hawks.